Let's assume the valuation is done, and next step for them would be, once the sanction is also done, that they'll have to sign the KFS or acknowledge the KFS. So let's say this is the valuation that KFS that's been generated for them. They'll view the KFS. This is the KFS. If you see, it's entirely in Hindi. It's pre-filled already. They'll click on Aage Badhe. They'll click on Aage Badhe, and they'll give their recent consent. And within 2 steps, their KFS gets acknowledged. So this is an OTP-less quick sign that we've developed for documents like KFS, wherein you need a way to quickly collect an acknowledgement, but you necessarily don't need something like, let's say, an Aadhaar e-sign. But this is when you want to execute KFS independently. What if you want to execute it with the loan agreement? So what we can do is we can also create a document pack of both the KFS plus the loan agreement. So I've already created a link like that. If you'll see, I had received the invite on my WhatsApp. I clicked on that and I've come to this KFS, which is again in Hindi, and it is also pre-filled. I'll click on proceed. In the same journey, I'm also seeing this loan agreement, and this loan agreement is like fully stamped because this is a sandbox account. It says government of XYZ state, but in the live production flow, you will have the actual stamp with the stamp serial number, with the state it is procured for. It will have a unique ID which binds this particular stamp to this document, and it will also have first party name and second party name as per your requirements. Even the loan agreement, if you'll see, is in Hindi. And if I And the interface also of the signing interface you can change to Hindi. I'll click on Aage Badhe. I'll click on OTP. This again, OTP is entirely your call. If you want to keep it, you can. If you don't want to keep it, you can choose to remove it. We do this just for additional security. If people don't want signing accessible even to a person who should not be having, you can choose from any of the 4 Aadhaar sign types available. You can go for OTP, you can go for biometric, you can go for iris, you can also go for this is a new way of doing, which was released last year, face sign. You scan the borrower's face and you can do Aadhaar sign. This shows disabled because it requires an Android phone. You can't do it on a MacBook, which I am using right now. And same for iris and biometric, you need devices, which I do not have right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an OTP based Aadhaar e-sign. I'll give my e-sign consent. Again, the e-sign consent is in Hindi. Yeah, if you'll see this time, because CDSL, when I tried last time for the validation certificate, it did not work. System recognized that, and this time it has taken me to Protean. By the way, even on this screen, if you want, you can change the language. So Aadhaar detail, I'll send OTP. Okay, so I've received the OTP. I'll enter that. And as soon as I do that, my loan agreement, I'm sorry, my KFS will get signed. I'll have to repeat this process for loan agreement. So yeah, KFS is signed. In the same journey, without leaving this interface, I'll now sign the loan agreement. Fairly similar process. Again, I'm taken to Protein because the system recognized CDSL wasn't working. And this took 2 to 3 minutes because I was typing, I was talking, I was explaining. But if you're actually using it on ground, your agent is comfortable with it, it's gonna happen within a minute. A lot of our clients, in fact, have told us that 2 minutes is the maximum time it's taken them to do a e-signature via Leegality. So yeah, this is also done. As soon as this is done, you'll get a WhatsApp. You will also get a email or SMS, whichever you configure, with all the signed documents and the audit trails for it. I'll quickly show you one document. So this is the KFS we just signed. This is pre-filled KFS. This is my signature here. It's validated via Aadhaar, and this is my audit trail. So this audit trail, it tells you what this audit trail is for. It gives you the details of the document. it gives you the consent provided, and if you'll see, this consent is also in Hindi, which closes the loop on vernacular requirement by RBI. And let's say if you stamped the agreement, so in the audit trail you will also get details of your stamping, and Aadhaar e-sign details will be there. So let's say if somebody other than me who had these details signed, like Aditya, who was giving you the presentations over, if he had attempted Aadhaar e-sign using his details and not the details that you see on the screen right now, this e-sign would have been blocked. How do you set this up? For this, you just have to configure a workflow. So let's say this, I'm on Leegality dashboard. You log into this, you go to workflows, then you create a new workflow. Let's say GL webinar demo. You click on confirm. Now, once this is done, it's up to you how you want to configure the documents. If you want to configure KFS and loan agreement separately, you can do that. But if you want to, let's say, do it together, you can also do that. I have KFS in the PDF already ready with me, and I want to do both of them together. So I'll quickly add first document, which is KFS. I'll add second document, which is my loan agreement. Now, my loan agreement also requires stamping. Stamping is as easy as just toggling this on, then toggling on series that you want, select a series and how many you want. You can also calculate this stamp duty automatically via what we call a rule engine. Basically, you just tell Leegality that for this particular state, this percentage of stamp is needed. Let's say in Maharashtra, you want to say for the gold, for the amount of gold loan you're giving out, you want 10% of that as stamp duty. You can configure that as a rule in Leegality workflow. And this, what I've done right now, selecting Delhi, selecting one quantity, this will get automatically selected for you without your agent having to do anything. So this is my loan agreement. So my document pack is done. It's KFS and loan document. If you want to add DP and sanction anything, you can add to it. Then you configure the signers. Let's say my first signer for this is the borrower. My second signer for this would be the lender. For borrower, you would want to assign them both the KFS and the loan agreement. And you would want them to e-sign via Aadhaar. If you want to give them a backup way of e-signing, you can do that as well. Let's say you want to give them virtual as backup, you can do that. And it's basically up to you how you want to configure it. For the lender, you would want to have an automated signature. So you can just enable automated signature. And they will be then signing via either a doc signer or virtual signature, which is again up to you. Next, what you can do is you can also add security options to it. You can capture the GPS location and geofence it, like what we showed you in the presentation and in the demo before Aadhaar Sign didn't work. You can restrict it to India, or you can also feed the latitude, longitude, and the radius around that for which you want to geofence your resign to. Additionally, you can also capture the face and do a liveliness check and a face match. So you can, whatever, let's say I'm availing a loan during KYC, I would have taken a photo. You can match my photo during e-sign to this and it will be done. It won't allow if somebody else tries to do this e-sign if you enable this. And for liveliness, let's say during valuation, if the borrower is not present and the valuator just tries to put a photo in front of the camera to quickly proceed, they won't be able to do it because the person is not there. So it's up to you. Once you've configured the document, you've configured the invitees and the security settings you want. Last step for you is to just quickly see all of this. So this is my dummy stamp paper. This is my loan agreement. This is my KFS. You can drop coordinates wherever you want on this page on both the documents. Up to you wherever you want. And once it's done, you publish it. And next time you want to execute a document, you don't need to do any of this. All you need to do is run. Your agent will quickly fill in some values and of the person who is availing the gold loan, and that's it. They don't need to do any of the setting. They don't need to do anything else. It's as fast as like a 1 minute process. With that, the demo comes to an end.